Well, hello, hello. This is Rosa RCG Creations. How are you doing? Hey there. Hey, hey, hey. Bring it to you today. Let me break this down. Sorry for the moving. Let's angle this down. Okay, we are making shelf-stable cream cheese. All you do is get your regular cream cheese, blocks of cream cheese, whatever kind you want to have. Doesn't matter to me. For us, it doesn't matter if it's Kroger, whatever brand, whichever one. Cream cheese is cream cheese as far as we're concerned. You want to get them at room temperature because you want them to be soft. Pour them into your jars, just like I've already done here. Then you're going to wipe your rims. You want to give 1 inch headspace, which is this bottom ring right in here. That's 1 inch headspace. Then you're going to wipe the rims. Check to see, make sure that every one of your rims doesn't have any crevices or indentions or anything. Because if there is, don't use that jar because that jar will not seal properly. It may not seal properly, okay? So just use that jar for hand cranking and keep something in your dry goods, okay? And I'm on my last one. And I go, let me just do a quick video because I've never done this. I have never processed cream cheese before. But we're running out of freezer space. And this is January. And my garden's coming in. And I'm going to need that freezer space for my vegetables. So I go, you know what? I happened across this on a video. And I go, you know what? Let's just try it, see how it works. And then if it works, great. And we enjoy it afterwards, because I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of processing, whether you're dehydrating, water bath canning, or pressure canning, hubby and I don't like the texture of the item after certain products are done. Like I've tried it several different times, different types of meat, different cuts of meat. We cannot handle processed ground beef. We really don't like pot roast or roast at all. We just can't do it. So we save those for freezers. Now we both love all types of chicken. Chicken legs and chicken legs with bones, chicken breast, chicken thighs. I call it ugly chicken because it's ugly once you've processed it. It really is kind of ugly looking. But it's the most juicy, tasty and chicken afterwards, so you use it for like you do anything else. But it's already pre-cooked because you're pressure canned it. So chicken we do. I've tried it making spaghetti sauce with meat, ground beef in it. We can't handle it. I enjoy making spaghetti sauce that's seasoned with herbs and spices. Hubby don't care for it at all. I love it. So I do a small batch just for me. And what I'll do is I'll put I actually just make it in a wide mouth half pint jar. And I'll pour that jar in with the regular jar of spaghetti sauce that hubby's gotten because he likes the store-bought kind. That's it's whatever he wants to do, it's up to him. Doesn't matter to me. So to stretch that sauce out, because we always make enough for 2 meals, the main course, dinner or lunch, and another meal the next day, it stretches out the sauce, so we don't have to worry about using 2 jars. We only use 1 jar. So I've already done this one. So this little video is basically all you're doing. And I just left this out here on the counter. It's room temperature. It's still a little bit stiff. It's been out here for like 2-3 hours. But I just basically, you want to put it in there. And then one thing is, once you pour it all, you can put this all in a glass bowl. Put it in the microwave and melt it down and pour it in there. But I didn't want to go through all that extra effort for that, because I knew I wasn't going to get to it till later today. And this is already later. It's already 4 o'clock. This came out earlier this morning around noon. I figured it'd be a lot softer by now, but it isn't. So I'm just going to make do with what it is. It is what it is. But the biggest thing for us is this is just like you make this like you do a regular meal. And this, we pretty much only use cream cheese when we're making some kind of a hot meal dish. And of course we do use cream cheese when you pour like some jelly over it and have it with crackers. But and you can use that for this too. This cream cheese can go in there and put it in a bowl. and then put your like hot cowboy candy, some kind of jelly or jam on top of it, and then dip your crackers and then mix a nice little appetizer. But what you do is when you put your cheese in there, you see how, whoops, you see how there's the lump in the space there in between that? You need to get it all the way down in there because you want to fill this jar. And I'm just doing my half pint jars because this is equivalent to almost one of these jars is equivalent to a block of cheese. And so for me, because it's just the two of us, one jar is enough. And you want to use something. What they call debubbling is I'm getting all the air and everything out of the bottom of the jar, because you're required to debubble when you're doing cream cheese. A lot of people think this is a form of rebel canning, and I am a rebel canner. I have no problem with it. I experiment on a small scale, and as you can see, I only did 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I only did 1, 2, 3. I only did 5 blocks of cheese. So if this works out great, and we love the texture afterwards, and I don't see why it would be a problem, especially because we do a lot of crock-pot meals that require cream cheese. So I have no problem. I don't think we'd have a problem of this being used for one of those meals instead, and then save the one in the freeze for something else. Or, you know, if I come to the point where I need that freezer space, we'll just start canning those. You know, but that's not the goal. It's always good to have more than one method of preserving your food. And my biggest thing is you do what's best for you and your family. Because remember, you're the one that bought it, and you're the one that's going to eat it. So, and don't process or save anything that you're not going to eat just to have it. So just because something's on sale and it's a big thing, you want to get a bunch of it, if you're not going to eat it, why buy it? It's like, I've tried lentils. I've got a bag of them. It's been vacuum sealed tight. I've tried them. I've done them in different kind of ways, different kind of recipes. I've eaten it at other people's homes. I just don't care for the texture of the whole thing of lentils. I know it's very good for you, the protein and all that, but I will eat it if I'm absolutely starving. But if I have a choice of something else or go hungry, I usually go hungry. I mean, that's how I am, and we all have this with certain foods. So let's just be realistic. When you're preserving, do what you know you're going to use. Or do something that's maybe just one member in your family does, and do yourself a favor and do something for that person that they would enjoy having. And now I'm just basically filling up these jars. That's what I'm doing to use the last part of my packet of cream cheese. Looking to see, because that one's full, that one's full, that one's pretty much full. Yep, it's pretty much full now. Okay, so now I'm just going to debubble. All I'm doing is putting this is there's a piece of hard plastic inside the spatula. Because you can see they didn't put it all the way to the very end. I wish they had gone and extended it all the way here, because this part is really flimsy. But I like it because I like to hang it up. So for the next one I get, I want one solid piece, all solid and hard. And I like the size of this type of spatula. And it is a silicone spatula. And when you pull up and down, you can hear the air pockets. And that's what you're doing, is you're releasing the air pockets. So when you get ready to water bath it, you're all set and good to go. I did do my research. I did a lot of watching. I did a lot of internet searching of the best method. And for me, water bathing, I think it's going to be the best one. I saw some where you pressure can, but that just was a lot of work. It was more time consuming. It wasn't a lot of work, more it was time consuming. And I just didn't want to spend the time on it. And since this was my very first time doing this, Let's see if this method works. If this method works and we like it, we enjoy the final product. And all I'm doing is I'm swirling around all the excess that's in the side of the jar, because you want it kind of smooth as possible. See that? And it's all in there. Okay, this one I know I haven't debubbled because I could see the gap in the bottom there. And while I'm doing all this, my pot, and I'll bring it over to you, you'll see in a minute, I have a huge 30-quart water canner. It's from Ball. And it's got the little metal stand that pulls the jars in and out, which is what you want, especially with this size jar. That way you don't use so much water. Because you can put a quart jar in there. You could even do a double rack. And do 2 racks of this size in that canner if you wanted to, if you're going to do a whole bunch of this. But right now, cream cheese is pricey. So, trying to preserve today's prices for future use. And since this is going to have pretty much an unlimited shelf space as long as my seal's not broken, I'll be good to go. Okay, so that is pretty much debubbled as far as I could tell there. Okay, let's get all the excess off the rim. Okay, I think that one's done. That one's done. I know these are done because I already, oh no, this one's not done. You can tell which ones have gaps in the bottom that you didn't debubble very well. That one's got a lot of gaps. Okay, my water's really starting to boil, so it'll be a good time to set this up, wipe the rims. Okay, I think I'm done on that part. Alrighty, so that part's done, this one's done, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. Oh, there's a pocket right there. I can see that air pocket. And you can hear the kind of the air, so you know that didn't have it had an air pocket in it. So you just want to, whenever there's a gap, that's an air pocket. And that's what you want to get rid of, is all those air pockets. And I want to use the same, I'm straining each jar, so I use the same amount of cheese stays in the jar, because again, we want to make sure one of these jars is equivalent to 1 block of cheese. And of course, once it goes through the process, it's all going to melt, and it'll melt all inside the jar. Excuse me, sorry about that. Okay. That's done. I know that one's done. Okay. You can see, when you do this in person, when you do it yourself, you'll be able to see that it's been done. Okay, I think we're done. Let me just get the last little part here all the way around the edges. This last little seal. And when you get ready to go wipe, this is why I'm being so ridiculous on this top part here. and you go to wipe all this, the edging, I'm going to show you in just a second the reason why I'm doing it this way. This is what I learned early in my career of learning how to process. Clean towel. You're wiping the excess food product off the jar so you have a good seal. And that's why you want as much, off this top center inside the ring, the jar, off. Okay. Same thing. And this actually works better if you do have it level on a hard surface. And then just wipe. Get a new piece of towel. When I'm doing something messy like this, I like to use a washcloth instead of paper towel, because you're going to go through a bunch of paper towels, because every time you see residue, that means there's still pieces of residue of food on that seal, and you want to get all that off of there. So you get a good seal. Okay, that's done. And I'm using my finger to hold it, the towel that's going to be directly on just the top of the seal of the jar. And then I grab a new piece of cloth that has no food particles on it. Okay, good. No extra residue. Okay, that works good. And let's move on to this one. And then we'll be able to put our rings on. I feel like I saw, yep, there was extra cream cheese there on that part. I'm almost running out of clean towel area. Yep, sometimes some of these just have extra food particles in the little grooves on the outside of the jar. Okay, that one's clean. And let's do this guy. Okay, yeah, my water is starting to really boil. I can see it. Good timing. I packed all these up, packed them, and on my 1, 2, 3, 4. On my 5th jar is when I turn the water on, put it on high. Oop, I could see this part needs to go down some. I don't want to lose all that food. There. I'm going to go to the back side of this towel. I don't want to mess with just finding an empty spot. All this is going to get rinsed, and then it's going to go in the wash anyway, so. Okay, that's good. Last jar. Now I already finger tested all the jars to make sure there's no imperfections on the rim of the tip of the jar. So I know I should get a good seal. There's a little bit of trace somewhere, something. I don't know where. Okay, that worked out good. I'm a rebel canner. I reuse my lids. I put a little hashtag on it of how many times I've processed with that seal, that ring. This is the lid. Oh, that had 2 on there. I like to do gold and gold, silver and silver. My OCD kicks in when that happens. Fingertip tight. For me, it's my middle finger and my thumb. And this is what I've been using the entire time I've been processing. And for me, it works 99.9% of the time. Oh, that was the one that I got wet. I had to wash this. I could use. This is my sample of how much water do I put in with my how much water do I put in my canner? And it's called a water bath canner. Is what it's called. But basically, all it is a big stock pot that can hold so much heat, and it has a basket in it, a metal basket, so you can put the jars in and out of the water. And then you want the water to be just about half of an inch to an inch above this, because you want the whole thing to be in a rapid boil. Okay, so let's go take these over to the canner. And I'm going to bring the camera over in just a second. I just want to make sure I don't drop anything. Okay, yeah, my water's coming to a boil. Okay. Sorry for the moving there. I don't want you to be able to see everything. Okay. Oops. Because this is hot and I don't want to get steam on me, I'm going to put these in. No, I'm going to go get my jar opener. My jar release holder. Because this is steaming. And I'll show you, let me show you, this is what the rack looks like. It's just a metal rack. When you're water bath canning, this is the one time you do not want your jars to touch each other. So give yourself plenty of space. If it means 2 or 3 batches, then it means 2 or 3 batches. Because when it starts boiling, once you put the rack down, they're going to start to jiggle. And you don't want them to jiggle against each other. Okay. It's a little warm. You're just going to lift up and release and slowly lower into the canner. And see, there you go. The jars are away. There's plenty of water above that. See that gold one over here that's kind of tilted? When that happens, grab your jar lifter and move it around till it stays level. And sometimes that happens because it happens with your lowering the rack, the metal rack. It's got 2 steam vents in it, and of course the label ball. Close it tight and leave it, because you want this when it comes to a rapid boil, that's when you start the processing time. So I'm not going to put my lid on here yet. It's got a boil, but it's not a rapid boil. And you see that? It's boiling, but it's not a rapid boil. Then once it comes to a really forceful with the water spouting out, turn down your heat. You want it to have a rapid boil, but you don't need to be splashing all over when it's too hot. So I'm going to set my timer for about 10 minutes. Let's come back in 10 minutes. Let's see where we're at. And once I get to the rapid boil, that's when I'm going to start my processing time. And let's see. Let me get my recipe, because I printed it down online. again, like I said, never made this before, so I printed it online. And basically what it says is you can use half-pint jars, which is about 8 boxes to 8 jars. So like I said, 1 block of cheese makes a pint, half a pint. Okay, and we're going to process, okay. Turn the heat on high, which is on high. Once the water comes to a full boil, add the lid and the process. It was at a boil. Okay, and lid process for 25 minutes. Then you're going to turn off your heat and set for 15 minutes. Then you pull the metal rack up. Okay, and you set the timer for 15 minutes. And because what you're doing is when you pull the rack up, you're taking the full length of the jar off the boiling water. The top part of the jar is starting to cool down because it's not soaking in the boiling water. The bottom half is still touching. The bottom half is about that much touching water. Okay, and that's going to help it, because then you set the timer for 15 minutes. Then you remove the jars and put them on a towel. Then you wait 24 to 48 hours, remove the rings, test the seal, wash the jars and store in the pantry shelf for one. Oh, this actually tells you these water bath cream cheeses only last 1 to 18 months. Good to know. So we'll bring you back when we come to the next phase. Alrighty, we are totally done. And look at them. Turned out good. So now we got 2, 4, 6 jars, which is 6 blocks of cream cheese ready to consume between 1 and 18 months. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.